So, Melinda, I know you work with blended families and really helping them create an incredible, thriving family. And it seems like you have a little bit of a problem with the word step, don't you? So, let's talk about that. Is step as in stepmom or stepdad? Is that a dirty word?
It can be. It can be.
Yeah.
There's history attached to that. When a long time ago in the 60s, 70s, when divorce wasn't prevalent and people started using the word step, I'm the stepmother or the stepfather, what they didn't realize is that you actually draw a line in the sand and you're putting yourself in a box. And from that moment on, everybody sees you as used to be the home wrecker or the other
Uh-oh.
woman, but now it's more like we put ourselves in a box that people will not give us all the information we need. We don't get the right reports from the teachers are like, no, you're not really the parent, so I don't need to share that with you.
Oh.
Or medical, if you have to take your stepchild to the doctor, you don't get treated as the parent. You get treated as the other person. So I believe we really shouldn't ever draw that line in the sand. When we get our bonus children, our littles, we should treat them as bonus children.
Sure.
We get bonus children, they get a bonus parent.
Well, I think that maybe we don't really think through the impact of what that really means to, the structural issues that these kids, that the children are faced with. Like you say, the teacher, the step parent doesn't get necessarily accurate or full and complete information. And so it really does cause some problems. And as you said, it puts you in a box. And I guess that stays around forever, probably.
It will stay around forever. And you're also drawing that line in the sand with your kids. So now using the word, this is my stepdaughter, this is my stepson, it teaches that child, who is your bonus child, that they are not part of the family. They're the outside part of the family.
They're the step.
They're not inclusive to the family. They're the part-time kid or
Sure.
Oh my gosh, you're not really here with us all the time, so we don't really need to include you in the regular family stuff. You're not only boxing yourself, but you're boxing the kids in as well.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah. So a good advice here, I'm thinking, is just to completely remove the word step from your vocabulary if you're in a blended family.
Absolutely. And even if you've already started that way, you can start saying, I'm going to pick my daughter up from ballet, or I have a parent-teacher conference with my son, or my son is homesick. You are no longer, don't put yourself in a box and let your kids be in that box.
Sure.
Even if they're your bonus kids, don't put them there. Please don't.
Well, parents, maybe they didn't know any better, right? They didn't really accurately or assess or think through the actual ramifications of using step. My step parents, my step grandparents, or whatever, it does make it kind of laborious too, but it's always that reminder. And that's what you're talking about, that, it's always and forever will stay there. So these alternatives might be a little awkward at first. If you've already set that pattern that you're a stepmom or a stepdad, or this is your stepchild, how can we really change that if we've already used that term for any length of time, really?
I think you have to start by owning it yourself. Take yourself out of it. It has to come from you within. Our kids are not going to know how to do that, so it's up to teach them to have the conversations that say, you're part of your family, we're a family, you have two families, we love everybody the same, and start using you are my daughter or you are my son, and the kids, if they're uncomfortable with that, they'll tell you. But I have found that most of those kids want that embrace. They want to know that
Mhm.
they're included in their other family or their bonus family or their new family, whatever term you want to use.
You bet.
It's inclusive. It's not, it just can be such a dirty, ugly word, and it
Right.
goes forever.
And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't
No,
have to be.
not at all.
And well, it occurs to me too, the very first time, if you've already settled on and you've been calling yourself a step parent or your daughter or son, a stepdaughter or stepson, I can guarantee you the first time you drop that step, they're going to notice. There's
Yes.
going to be a sudden new awareness, and they may be a little confused by that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can just explain, you're my bonus child. I may
Mhm.
not have been your natural mother, but in my world, you are still my child. And
Right,
I will love you as my child.
right.
And hopefully we can grow to be great friends. And
You bet.
I will help you learn lessons that maybe other people won't, be there for you, but I will
Yeah.
always be there for you. You are
Yes.
my bonus child.
What a beautiful experience to really impact the life of a child who is living in a blended family. Just beautiful. And I love that you give strategies for parents, the parents that you work with, to handle some of these sticky little issues that come up, you know.
I come from a long background of blended families. And
Yeah.
at one point, I didn't understand that my dad's mom and dad were actually divorced and remarried. I thought at the age of, 4 or 5, early, as first I can remember that my dad had two sets of parents. I didn't know that I think I was probably 12 before I realized that they were actually married to each other at one point.
It's like, what?
Everybody doesn't have these extra grandparents. I
Right.
had 12 grandparents at one time alive.
That's amazing. Just
And
amazing.
it was so wonderful being me, little girl with mad leadership skills. I didn't give them a chance not to embrace me, but it was very much, and I was the oldest of all my siblings that came after. And they told me all the time, well, you're still their granddaughter. You're still part, of the family. And they treated me as a granddaughter. I
Right.
never, ever felt like I was the step anywhere.
That's beautiful. They stopped that and nipped that in the bud and gave you great confidence.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now you teach others. So, what an amazing thing gifts that you bring to the table, all of that experience. So, well done.
Thank
Hey,
you.
yeah, listen, if you've got a blended family, then you need to visit with or meet or get to know MaLinda Perry. She is with MaLinda Perry Consulting LLC, and you can find her at blendedfamilyparenting.com. So go on over and say hello because she's here to help you build an incredible blended family. MaLinda, good to see you today.
Thank you, Rhonda. It's always good to see you. Thank
You
you.
bet. And I'm Rhonda Boyle, and with Coach Talk TV, you can find us at www.coachtalk.tv. No, I didn't say that. CoachTalk.tv. It's got a little tricky little ending there, but we've got other interviews for you to enjoy and hear coaches and what they can do to help you maneuver through challenging times in your life. So with that, we'll let you go. And thanks for joining us, everyone. MaLinda, see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.